Welcome back to Before the Scalpel. The title of today's episode is When Patients Feel Confident Referring Their Friends and Family for Care.
Well, patient referral has always been our biggest source of folks coming to us.
That's
and
right.
how they learn about us, as opposed to other forms of advertisement, if you will, whether looking on the internet or, in the old days you looked in the yellow pages to find a doctor. We find the patient referral has always been the best method.
Right.
Without a doubt.
The referral process is based on, there's an acronym that we have said for years. It came from Dr. Parker, the president of my school, was faith, confidence, and belief in your product, services, and ideas.
Yes.
So when we're confident that we can help a patient and we help them, so now they have confidence in what we have to offer, then they feel confident explaining to their friends and family where to seek care for their problem.
That's right. Yeah. And the belief, the proof is in the pudding, as they say, is when you get the help, they say you don't have to sell what you own.
Correct.
So when you've been helped and it's in your heart and you've gotten well, when you go to tell others, you're convicted.
Right.
Right? It's not a quote sales job. So, and over the years we've looked at what are the best ways to advertise. I mean, television, radio, podcasts, they all have value, but I believe the referral is the best way.
Helping somebody gives such credibility to why we're here for changing lives.
Correct.
When we change that life, that person wants to share that message. Just like if you went out to dinner and you had a really good meal,
Yeah.
you're going to tell everybody that you know about the great place that you just ate.
Absolutely.
It's the same principle here when they get what they came for.
Well, and I think when you gain your health back, as you go through life and as the years go by and you get older, what's the one thing that people say that, the most important thing, the only value thing is your health.
Right.
When you lose your health, if you don't have your health, doesn't matter how much money you have, anything in life doesn't matter.
Correct.
Because you can't enjoy it and you can't share it with others.
Right.
So, exactly.
So there's a patient that we're going to share with you his story. Steve has a wonderful story,
Yeah.
and we'll be very interested to see what you think of this.
Yes.
All I did was get out of bed, but my head was all the way down. I couldn't pick my head up. I couldn't even straight down. I had to look to the right, so my head was just, I tried to lift my head and the pain would run down my back of my arm and down my back. And I'm like, what did I do? I couldn't do anything. I mean, I'm self-employed. In my age, I didn't want any more employees, so I'm like one-man operation. Sometimes you're real strong, and then other times I could sit there and just, if I let myself, I think I just started crying. I'm not a big crier, but it was rough. And I think if you remember right, the first time I came in, I started spasming and everything, and Dr. Chris actually came over and helped me with that. I think you were standing there when that happened. That kind of scared me because everything just kind of locked up, but I think it was just so bad. It was just so bad when I came in. Dr. Jim was like, okay, this guy's hurting, because I couldn't, when your head is, I don't want to do it now because my neck is so good, I don't even want to even try to put my head down the way it was. I think a couple of the bulges were pretty clear, but he felt like there was something going on below that, which would be C6, C7. So he ordered the MRI and had an MRI done. The decompression table is so slight. I mean, you can't hardly tell that it's doing something, but you can tell that you're being, that's being stretched out, and it relieves you so easily. There's no pain involved, and then Dr. Jim's like, let me know what I can do, what I can't do, that type of thing. So very, very painless. No, you saw me the way I was, and I was destined for surgery, just the way things were going. So I'm telling everyone that I know, about this place.
What an awesome testimony from Steve. And getting your health back, as we were mentioning earlier, nothing's more valuable than that.
Right.
And I'd like to go back to your point earlier where you mentioned the faith, confidence, and belief in the product, services, and ideas. going to that word confidence. Why are patients confident here? Well, when they first come in, not only do we do a full orthopedic and neurologic evaluation, but we also do x-rays. It's a must. X-rays are paramount because they're the blueprint of how we figure out what the care should be and whether or not we can help them.
Agreed.
And so in the process of, we help a lot of folks, there are some that we may not be able to. And so when we go through these exams, if we're not able to help them, we tell them that.
Right.
So.
And when we refer out of this clinic, it's because we understand that the situation that they are presenting with may be outside of where our expert care lies.
Correct.
And the people that we send to, we would send our own friends and family to. So we've been around long enough that we know every MD, we know every physical therapist, we know every acupuncturist, and we send to the ones that we're confident in.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, when I was first in practice, I remember Dr. Powell Sr., I would go in with him on new patient exams. When you go through school and you work with students, it gives you great experience, but when you start working with real patients, that's where the real education begins. And we've all known that throughout life. And so I remember him doing the thorough exam, and the last thing he said to the patient, because you could tell the patient was a little nervous, he said, "I'll tell you this, if we can't help you, we'll tell you." And that hit me as I was thought, you know, that's something I would love to hear as a patient, and that's very important to confirm that. And so with all the things we do here, that's how we figure that out. So
Faith, confidence, and belief, our belief system has been established. Not only Dad started it 55 years ago, and us being able to start our practices as he was in the middle of his patient care, we got to see those patients that probably wouldn't have gotten relief at a lot of other places.
that's correct.
And because of the sequence that we have and the system that we have in place, they were able to receive care that they're really not going to get elsewhere.
That's right, yeah. Well, and we, of course, we offer more than just your typical chiropractic care.
Right.
As we've talked about through the episodes up to this point, our Discovery program, I think, you know, sets us aside a little bit as a more unique clinic in that we help the disc problems that others might not be able to help as effective. So, yeah.
Very good.
And he established that.
The key component in the disc recovery program is hydration. So if we can get water back into the disc is a very unique anatomical structure.
Yes.
There's a muscle around the outside, and in the center of that disc is a chemical, and that chemical is called proteoglycan. And the proteoglycan chemical can bind or hold 500 times its weight in water. There isn't a chemical known to man that we create that could duplicate that same bond.
It's amazing. Yeah.
So if we can get the disc to get the water into that chemical, but when we pull that spine apart, water filtrates into that disc, the chemical proteoglycans holds onto that water, and that's what gives the disc its resistance, its pushback.
Right.
And so we have patients drink water. We put frankincense in the nutritional products that they take. Everything we can do, the flexibility therapy, the vibration therapy, all is to try to get fluid movement.
Absolutely. And you have discs that may be more injured than others, or even some that have compressed enough that they start to wear down, almost like tooth decay. It's just in the spine. So a lot of times it can take many treatments to get it back there. You know, it's not just going to happen in one.
Right.
So saying that, how do we stabilize a spine that we get that thickness back again? What's the key to that?
Right. Each case is different, and no prescription is identical to the next. So we take every piece of that puzzle and try to design what's best for that individual person.
Right.
And there are times where we have to refer out, but you know, being in practice for 32 years, I've learned when that referral is necessary, but it seems to be becoming less and less as we refine our process.
Right.
So when we first started this in 2006, our success rate was still 90% of the people we accepted.
Exactly.
I think now we're accepting more patients now than we did then.
Absolutely.
Because we've refined our process.
Well, and for some of the ones that maybe we weren't able to help because of circumstances that couldn't change, when when they've had to have more invasive procedures, they've done a lot better.
Correct.
They've done a lot better because the treatments, although they didn't fix the problem, they better prepared the body for the surgical process ahead,
Right.
if that was necessary.
Right.
So, and like you touched upon earlier, God forbid we do have to refer them for surgery. We
Right.
know the right people to send them to.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Our next episode
Yes, our next episode.
is back in the game. And it's not just about motion. So we'll be interested to see how our next episode is received. Our program so far has been well received, and a lot of folks have commented, and we're excited that we're getting this information out.
And just a quick reminder, for those of you that are considering looking into what we have to offer, you can visit our website at powellchiropractic.com/discovery, or give us a call at 330-494-5533.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Powell Chiropractic Clinic introduces Discovery, the alternative to back surgery. The advanced Discovery protocols created in 2006 by the doctors at Powell Chiropractic Clinic are healthy and effective ways to avoid surgery and relieve pain. Innovators in chiropractic care, Dr. Jim Powell and Dr. Walter Null invite you to live pain-free, drug-free. Call today for a free no-cost consultation and preliminary examination. Powell Chiropractic Clinic, located on Munson Street Northwest in Belden Village, and at powellchiropractic.com.